Forget everything you've heard about manifesting your reality. It's biologically inefficient because it ignores the fundamental second law of thermodynamics. Reality isn't a spiritual mystery, it's a physics problem. Today, we move beyond the bad math of traditional methods to learn how to manually toggle your brain's thermodynamic phase shift. Welcome to the Physics of God mode. It's time to stop wishing and start calculating.
Manifestation as we know it is over. It's time to talk biophysics. Traditional methods fail because they ignore entropy. Most people operate in a subcritical dissipative state, essentially a high-noise environment where information transfer is below 10%. To succeed, you need a phase shift to neural criticality. This moves the brain from chaotic, sloshing water to a self-organizing system with optimal information flow, turning vague intent into structured reality.
Imagine consciousness not as a concept, but as a physical state of matter. Just as water transitions to ice at 0 degrees, your brain shifts into a high computation state at a specific thermodynamic threshold. This is a measurable critical phase transition, defined by mean field directed percolation. In this state, the mind is poised perfectly between order and disorder, triggering a fundamental shift into a high-order neural phase. The human brain operates at a fascinating threshold called the edge of chaos, or self-organized criticality. If neural activity is subcritical, signals stagnate and die out. Conversely, supercritical activity explodes into chaos, much like a seizure. The sweet spot is criticality, where the branching ratio equals 1. This allows a single thought to propagate globally without degrading, providing the optimal balance for enhanced information processing. Global neuronal workspace theory suggests consciousness isn't a steady stream, but a series of distinct ignition events. While most brain activity remains local and subliminal, once a signal hits a critical threshold, it triggers a PFC spark. This initiates a global broadcast lasting over 300 milliseconds, rapidly engaging the parietal and cingulate regions. It's this sudden, widespread surge across the entire network that transforms a quiet, internal signal into a unified conscious experience. To reach peak performance, your brain must perfectly balance excitation and inhibition. A steep power spectral slope indicates over-inhibition and unresponsiveness, while a flat slope signals overexcitation, leading to anxiety and noise. The critical state, or God mode, sits right in the middle. By optimizing the signal within this 30 to 45 Hz narrowband, we can track the specific aperiodic activity that defines your ideal state of arousal. Stochastic resonance presents a compelling paradox. Adding noise can actually enhance the detection of a weak signal. On its own, a subtle intention might fall below the threshold of detection. However, by introducing the right level of background noise, we provide the energy necessary to push that signal into the range of detection. It reminds us that we don't always need perfect silence to manifest our goals. Sometimes we just need the right kind of noise to boost our intention over the ignition threshold. Not all noise is created equal. While white noise is purely random and disjointed, pink noise mimics the natural oscillations found throughout the universe and within the human cortex. Characterized by its fractal, scale-free structure, pink noise acts as acoustic scaffolding, using stochastic resonance to entrain our neural networks. By aligning with our fundamental biology, it functions as a carrier wave that brings our brains into a highly sensitive, critical state. To measure the state of God mode, we utilize Lempel-Ziv complexity, a metric evaluating the mathematical compressibility of your neural signals. Highly repetitive patterns yield low LZC, which is typical of deep sleep or looping thoughts. However, signals that resist compression represent high LZC, the state of high bandwidth consciousness and criticality. Our ultimate objective is to optimize for maximum informational density, operating at the very edge of chaos. The stochastic resonance protocol is more than a theory, it is a rigorous technical procedure. To successfully force the brain's thermodynamic phase shift, we must synchronize 3 critical variables: a precise 12-minute duration, the constant input of 1F noise, and a strictly controlled hypoxic pressure state. Do not rely on wishing for results. Trust the data and execute the protocol. Step 1 begins with acoustic entrainment. For the next 12 minutes, you'll listen to 1F pink noise to push your neural branching ratio toward 1. This process utilizes stochastic resonance to lower the threshold for cognitive ignition, making the global workspace hypersensitive to new input. Essentially, we are manually overriding the brain's subcritical idling rhythms to prime the system for what follows.
Step 2 involves generating metabolic pressure. Through rhythmic hypoxic breathing, we modulate CO2 tolerance to chemically adjust the brain's excitatory-inhibitory balance. This serves as a targeted stressor, forcing the biological system out of stagnation. Essentially, we are building the thermodynamic pressure required for a face snap, shifting from baseline homeostasis into a peak state of alertness and neuroplasticity.
Step 3 is the ignition phase, where we move from preparation to command. Timing is vital here. An intention voiced in a subcritical brain is lost like a whisper in a storm. But when we reach criticality, that 1F state, the physics changes. Through stochastic resonance, the background noise actually amplifies our signal, triggering a global ignition. This is how a single intention transforms into a system-wide command.
Welcome to the discipline of reality architecture. Most people spend their lives manifesting, essentially wishing for outcomes with a low probability of success. But when you control the phase transition, you stop wishing and start engineering. We are moving away from abstract hope and toward executing the precise mathematical requirements for ignition. By treating our objectives as editable objects in a grand design, we shift from luck to high probability results. It is time to stop dreaming and start building. Reality isn't just something we experience. It's a complex, fundamental physics problem waiting to be decoded. When we look past the surface at the underlying structures of our universe, we see a blueprint of infinite complexity. Today, we're exploring the physics of God mode, a journey to understand the core logic of existence. We aren't here just to observe reality. We're here to master the variables and solve it. Let's begin.